Well, honey, it looks like this car has went full circle over 3 movies. What? You had something better?
I don't know. Maybe I would have. I don't know.
Well, what do you want to do for the intro? Why don't you do the intro then, since my bean is not pleased with that intro? Well,
movies aren't really that good.
That's not an intro. That's a statement.
I know.
Hey guys, welcome back to the CharmingAnalysis podcast. And I'm Mari. And this sleepyhead over here is Jay. Right, Jay?
Yes.
And today...
I can't wait to how you draw this thumbnail, by the way.
And today we are going to be talking about the Cars movies.
Yay.
We're not watching any more Disney movies right now.
Shut up. I can't take control of them out. But anyway, Cars.
This is the one that I wanted to watch because I've seen the first one and the second one, and I never saw the third until we saw it today. So we decided, hey, let's do the Cars Trilogy. And since it's about to be summertime, this be a perfect time to fucking do the Cars movies, in my opinion. So we're going to start with the first movie, then do the second, then do the third, and then rate them as a whole, and then go from there. We're just doing the movies. We're not doing the shorts, just so you guys know, because yes, there's a ton of Cars shorts. I literally looked. There was like so many of them. So basically, we're going to be going through all of them, and we're going to be explaining everything. Right, honey? So why don't you explain we're going to start with the first Cars movie. So why don't we start with why don't you explain what the first Cars movie was about? Take it away, honey.
How do I start this? Basically follows this fucking jerk who ends up in Jerksville.
Just give an actual thing, come on.
He's a jerk. He's a jerk rookie, and he ends up on like in a Californian hick town, and he has to learn not to be a jerk. And I really don't like this. I really don't like this first movie. I
like the first movie.
I do not like the first movie.
Okay, so since Jay didn't want to explain it.
I didn't like the first movie as a kid, and I don't like it as an adult, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, I'll give a bit better intro, because he's just calling Lightning McQueen a jerk, which to justify it, he technically is.
He is a jerk.
But basically, the first Cars movie is about a jerk rookie named Lightning McQueen, who is a rookie in the Piston Cup races. He's basically trying to make a name for himself, and he's trying to prove to everyone that he can beat everyone and get the Piston Cup, is the gist of it. He ends up going into a town called Radiator Springs after his truck decided to fall asleep and eject him out of the back of it. So he ends up being in Radiator Springs, causes some trouble and some other bullshit. Mm-hmm. Will he win the Piston Cup?
No.
But yeah, this movie came out in 2006. So this was part of my childhood, like this first movie. And honestly, I've watched this movie so much as a kid and stuff like that. And yeah, I was so happy that we actually got to do these movies, because this is one of those movies, in my opinion, that I honestly really enjoyed this as a kid, and I still enjoy it now. Like, it brings back good memories. It's an interesting plot story. It's a simple plot story, but it's a really good one, and you get to see kind of Lightning McQueen progress through the story and develop his character over the course of the 3 movies. But mainly the first one has a special place in my heart.
Why?
Because it's a movie I enjoyed as a kid. I used to watch it a lot with my family, and the songs in it bring back a lot of happy memories, in my opinion. Back to when I was a kid, simpler times. But anyway, enough of me gushing about it. So, what did you think of the first movie, besides the fact that you didn't like it?
I don't like it. I do not like it. I didn't give really much of a shit about the first Cars growing up. I was apathetic when I had to watch this again, because I was like, Man, I feel like I'm not gonna really vibe with this, and it's just something where I don't really like. I do not like my Lightning McQueen like at all.
Like, I can understand he's a bit of a jerk. I get it.
I mean, I did not care for him to like find the beauty of like simple town folk shit when he's like a big fast millionaire race car.
Well,
like,
not really a millionaire, I don't think. I don't think he's a millionaire.
I don't care. You get like, you get deals and shit that like, you basically have your own things handed to you. Spoil a little rich boy. But like I didn't care about that. I didn't care about that because the movie didn't give me anything to care about him for that, it wasn't interesting. None of the characters at all were interesting at all to me, because it was just like, man, I've seen other movies where they have me care about the characters and not have them be complete fucking assholes. And it's like, it was too fucking unlikable for me to even care about it. And like, I didn't vibe with it. I really didn't vibe with it. I was just sitting there being like, I'm not vibing with this movie. I don't care about what type of message it's sending right now, because I'm just like, I don't need, this message is not needed. It really isn't needed. It really isn't needed anymore. Like, people who are like that are going to stay like that anyway. And I don't believe that it took him like a few days to suddenly have him change his mind. Like, it just seems disingenuous to me. Like, I don't see it at all.
No, look, I can kind of understand where you're coming from with him being a jerk, because let's all admit it, Lightning McQueen is a bit of an asshole. Like, he's a bit of an asshole if you think about it. Like, he basically, for the course of the first movie, just wanted to win. And I can understand that. Like, I can understand he's a bit of an asshole, not the most likable character. I get that. I completely understand that. Another thing I do think about this movie that I think is a bit better, one of the reasons I like it, I like the small town vibe of this movie. Like, you get to see, like, everyone basically living their lives and shit like that. And I also like the fact that...
I don't mind the small town vibe. I like the fact that we get, like, scenes with no music, it's quiet and all that bull. But, like, I wish I cared. I wish I cared about Radiator Springs. I wish I cared about the small town. Maybe if it was following the old guy...
Doc Hudson,
and his journey into the small town, why he came to this small town and stuff. I would have much rather preferred like that than whatever they decided to do, because it's kind of common knowledge that the jerk will be humbled by the old mentor. I'm like, no. No, especially not here when he's being such a complete ass. Like, no. I don't believe that he ever did. I don't believe that he would, found the good in himself. I don't believe that shit. I didn't believe it at all.
He's also a bit of a hardhead, if you think about it. Like, he's a hardhead.
I didn't believe it at all, and that's the problem. And the fact that, this world doesn't make any fucking sense. This world is just it's a marketer's wet dream, because you're just doing cars, but there's there's no reason for these to be cars. There's no reason.
You sound like you're having a mental breakdown over cars.
There's no reason. I don't understand the fucking anything. How anything's supposed to be functioning in this fucking world of cars. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't understand, and it doesn't give me any reason to want to understand, because it's just it's just stupid. It's just dumb. It's just very dumb. I don't vibe with it. I don't like the characters. I don't care.
Not even like Mater or like Sally.
I don't care. I I can stand like characters like of any archetype as long as they're done good enough. I don't think they did anything good enough in these movies.
Okay.
I really don't think they did anything that was like I guess original enough to like do anything interesting with them. Like it was just kind of like going through like the motions but with cars, and that is not something I care to see when watching a kids movie essentially.
Which I can also understand. Like, I get, like...
I guess you could talk about why it hit you so much as a kid or now as an adult watching the movie.
Definitely as a kid, I liked a lot of the music in it. I liked the story plot and stuff like that.
I'm sure everybody fucking liked the music in Cars. It's not anything special. It's just...
It's still good in my opinion.
It's not anything special. It's just Rachel Flats?
Rascal Flatts.
Rascal Flats? I said Rachel Flats. Rascal Flats?
Who's like a childhood band of mine that I used to listen to all the time as a kid. But I will say this, though. I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea. I get a lot of people think it's mid-movies, but I still like it, though. I still think it's an interesting concept.
It's more than a mid-movie for me. I consider it probably a
Don't rate it yet. We're not rating it yet. We're not rating it yet. Shush. It is not that bad. I feel like a lot of people kind of overreact to, the Cars movies are bad. I don't feel like they're that bad. Like, I feel like there's worse shit out there, honestly. Like, to me, this is not that bad. Like, I guess nostalgia definitely influences a bit of the first Cars movie to me.
It's just not good. It's not good at all.
Well, I think it's good. But anyway, I do think nostalgia does play a bit of a role for at least the first movie. Because the first one, like, definitely has a special place in my heart. It also was, like, we used to watch that movie so fucking much as a kid. Like, honestly, like, I used to watch it so much.
Good for you.
That was one of the movies that, like, I definitely enjoyed quite a bit as a young kid. And getting to see, like, all the environments. I think it was also because, like, it was a neat animation and stuff like that for the cars. Like, the backgrounds are beautiful. Like, just all the car canyons and shit. It's just shit that, like, tickled my brain a lot. And it still does to this day. Like, Cars has some beautiful backgrounds. Honestly. Like, and the more the movies, like, happened, the better the backgrounds got, in my opinion. And, like, they toned up, like, the car designs as well. Like, they kind of fleshed them out a bit more. Depending on, what you're doing. You know what I mean?
We're both tired.
That's because we watched all 3 movies in a row.
We're both tired.
Fun fact, the first movie is almost 2 hours.
Yeah, too fucking long.
Isn't that crazy?
It's too fucking long. I don't want to sit through 6 hours of fucking Cars movies.
Well, we did.
But we did, and I was like, why?
You were bored.
I was bored. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking bored throughout this shit. I was like, god damn. Like, thank God we have like Disney Plus, because oh boy, it was.
Sorry, I needed to spritz myself.
Oh boy, it was some of the most tedious. It was very tedious to me. I could not understand
the appeal of the movie.
I don't understand the appeal. What's the fucking appeal? The appeal is to see these cars fucking racing. And I can only say that they ever do that ever for one movie. And it's not even in these, and it's not in 2 of them. So I don't even know what the fuck, like, why? If you really want to do something like this, just do human characters. Do human design characters.
I would like to see people make versions of the Cars characters as humans. That would be interesting to honestly see. Because I have my theories of what Lightning McQueen and Sally would definitely look like. And Cruz. But we'll get to Cruz later. So, is there anything you actually liked about the first movie, or did you just completely hate it?
I liked there was quiet moments in the movie.
Like what?
Like conversations, I guess. I liked that it was not. It was something. It was like, I don't know. It was just quiet and like let the scenery was taken in, and I didn't mind. Like I didn't mind that. I liked that.
For me, like the best parts in the movie, is Lightning McQueen's little intro where he's like, "Speed, I am speed." Like that always gets me. Like the first half of the first 5 minutes of the movie always gets me. And the part where they're talking about how Radiator Springs basically fell off the map, that part also gets me. Those are like the best parts in my opinion of the whole movie. Is just them taking in the scenery and just taking in the view. I would have loved, like one of the things I wish was possible. When I was a kid, I really wanted to drive or go through those areas that Sally and like Lightning went through when they were going up to the wheel well. Like that entire scenery, I wish I could have went to that place. I wish I was like there kind of thing. Like the scenery is beautiful. That would have been like so much fun to walk through and stuff like that. It was like a simpler time, basically, was what made me enjoy this movie. It was a simpler time, and I really enjoyed it and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, like, the one thing I will admit about the first movie, it depends on the person. Not everyone's gonna like the movie, and I understand that. It's a bit of a niche, in a sense. Like a really big, semi-popular niche. Not as much nowadays as it was when it first came out, because after the first movie came out, it was fucking everywhere. There was car shit everywhere. Hence the fact that there were so many fucking shorts. I also like the fact that...
well, it's definitely for kids.
I know that. Also, I like the fact that Lightning basically pushed the king like across the finish line. That also warmed my heart as a kid, because it's like... It made me so happy to the fact that even though he really wanted to win, he wanted to also make sure that his legend won as well, which I thought was great. I also like Doc Hudson, honestly.
Mari's a baby. They like baby movies.
Shut up! I am not a baby. I am not a baby!
You are a baby. You like
Shut
baby
up.
movies.
Shut up!
You like baby movies.
You shush.
There's no shame in that.
I don't like baby movies.
You do.
Stop being a big butt.
No.
My goodness.
But anyway, anything else to say about this damn car shit?
Well, from the first movie, last thing I'll say, favorite character actually has to be Doc Hudson. He was definitely the best part of, like, the movies and getting to know his history and stuff. I'm kind of sad that, we don't really get much about him until the fucking third movie. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But let's rate the first one. So, to me, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a good movie. It's pretty solid in my opinion. It's a solid movie. If you want to get into the Cars franchise, I do recommend checking it out. I think it's one of the better movies of the three. I personally like it a lot. And I do recommend it if you are trying to get into, like, car movies and stuff. It's better than ones I have seen, so I will give it that.
What other fucking car movies have you seen?
Oh, I've seen plenty of Cars movies.
Herbie?
Yes. The Love Bug? Yes. Okay, one thing I will mention. That was another thing. I'm not really a Cars person. However, for some reason when I was a kid, I always liked the Herbie Love Bug movies. That's probably one of the reasons I like this franchise a bit, is because it reminds me of that, except it's more like live action kind of shit. Have you ever seen The Love Bug?
No.
I gotta get you to watch it with me one day. Like, the Herbie movies are honestly, like, interesting, in my opinion. Like, just funny and interesting. They're kind of dumb, but they're funny and interesting, and I would like to eventually show you them one day. That's probably one of the reasons I really like the Cars movies. And that's one of the reasons I love Volkswagen Bugs, is from the Herbie movies. Honestly. That was one of the reasons I wanted to get a Beetle. That was the fucking reason I wanted to get a Beetle, because I liked the movies so much as a kid. And stuff like that.
That's a fun little
tidbit. Yeah.
Fun little fun fact about Mari.
Yes. But enough of me geeking out about little bug cars.
You don't even have the Beetle anymore.
I am sad about that. I still miss my Beetle. But I like the car I have now. But I miss my Beetle sometimes. Anyway, what do you give the first Cars movie? I give it an 8.
2. I give it a 4.
You get a 4?
I don't like... Whenever I don't like something, I'm not going to rate it because, like...
I get it.
I'm going to rate it because I didn't like it.
I get it. I'm just...
I'm going to rate it because I don't give a shit about it. So, yeah, I'm going to rate stuff that I don't give a shit about what the rating I want it to be. So, yeah.
That's still crazy.
It's a 4.
The fact that you give it a 4.
I think it's a 4.
That's sad. I feel like it's good. It has potential. Because if you think about it, there's, like, 2 other movies.
Cool. People can go enjoy those. I really don't care.
Damn, you're that pressed about cars?
I don't care about cars, man. I don't care about this world or these characters. I really don't.
I get
like,
it.
Why? Like, why do people want to, like, be in this world? Like, why do people care about... I don't think anybody really cares. I think they just buy the fucking toys for their kids.
I get
them to play cars for a while.
I get it. I get my Bean doesn't like Cars movies, but we still watched them anyway because I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, because we're trying to watch like 50 movies this year is basically like the deal. We're trying to watch 50 different movies and stuff. And this was one of the ones I picked out. And we count franchises, so this counts. And I didn't want Jay to suffer through all the shorts. So I just picked the 3 main movies. Maybe one day we can go over the shorts, but not for a while.
I'm not going over damn car shorts.
It'd be funny, though.
No.
I probably would go over them.
No.
Well, I would go over them, at least. Shish. Anyway, so yeah. Now we're going to talk about the second one, which, in my opinion... and as a lot of people have mentioned it, is honestly the worst of the 3 movies. The second one is honestly the worst of 3 movies. So, why don't you explain what the second one's about then?
They do spy shit. It's a spy adventure film.
So basically take all the heartwarming shit that happened in the first movie and kick it out the fucking door. Because this movie basically... this is the thing I find stupid. Literally, most of the shit that happens in the second movie is just spy shit. They decided, hey, let's make Mater the main character of this and make him be a fucking spy. That's basically the gist of what the second one is. But if you want a more in-depth summary, because I'm going to give it to you. So basically, Mater's basically a jealous hoe. He's jealous that Lightning is basically hanging out with Sally. He kind of feels like a third wheel. So he's kind of like, okay, what am I going to do to make... Lightning hang out with me more. I know. I'm going to basically trash talk him, in a sense. And then he's going to go race. And then I get to be his little, like, spokesperson. And then, woo, we get to have fun times in Japan and other countries in Europe. Whee! That's essentially what this is. Mixed with spy shit. That's literally the gist of what this is. In a sense. And Mater also gets a fucking girlfriend. That also happens. So, yeah. I got a bit to say about the second one, but I want to hear your thoughts first about the second movie.
It's dumb.
Like...
it's dumb, and it doesn't need to exist. That's the harshest criticism I can give this movie. It shouldn't exist. And
like,
don't need to exist.
I'll definitely agree with you on that one. Personally, for me, the second one is the lowest of the 3. Honestly, this could have just been a fucking short. They could have turned the second movie into like a mini series or shorts. That's what they should have done with it. But instead, let's make a spy movie. I think it's because there was a lot of spy movies coming out at the time. So they were all trying to compete with each other, I think is what this was. Because there was like a lot of spy shit, I think.
I realize that animation takes a long time to make. And even if people saw spy movies, it would already be outdated by the time this movie came out.
I get it. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. But, still, basically, I feel like this movie could have just been shorts. Like, all the second movie really is just basically trying to make Mater more of a main character than Lightning McQueen. Lightning barely is in this movie. Like, half of the cast that was in the first movie isn't even in the second movie. It's literally like, basically the gist of it. Instead of having, like, Flo, Ramon, Fillmore, the Sarge guy, Luigi, Guido, Big Red, and all those other characters, and Doc and the Sheriff, that was the cast of the first one, besides Sally, Lightning, and Mater. Cut the cast in half, and that's basically who's in this. Flo and Ramon aren't even in this movie. Neither's Big Red. Sally's barely even in it. She's only in it for, like, the last, like, half of the movie. And I understand it's not about her, but it's, like, I feel like that she should, like, I understand she's supportive of Lightning and what he decides to do, but I feel like you don't get to see much of her, and I think that's kind of sad. She's just kind of the love interest, like, the side chick, even though those two are together, but we don't really get to see them interact much except for, like, the first movie, which is kind of sad. I feel like they just kind of side chat, like suplexed half the characters out of the fucking movie and made way for the spies and that one tech girl who ends up getting with Mater. First off, like, as someone who likes Mater as a character, I hated him in the second movie. I feel like they overdid him, like, way too much. They made him more stupider. I feel like that's a common thread in a lot of sequels, specifically with, like, the side main character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, the second, like, character that's supposed to be, like, the sidekick to the main character. They basically made Mater annoying, and I hate to say that, but they made him more annoying, and I feel like they could have just made the shorts, because literally, do you want to know how, like, most of the shorts that they fucking do is literally about Mater. You can literally watch the shorts if you want more Mater. You didn't need to make a whole ass second movie about him. He's literally got, like, I think I literally counted like 10 to 12 or more different shorts. I'm actually going to look it up because there's, like, a lot of shorts for the Cars franchise. Like, let me actually look this up. They're, like, called cartoons. Like, I'm not joking. That's actually what they call it.
Ha ha ha.
But, there's, like, a lot. So there's, like, I'm trying to see if I can find, like, how many there are. There's at least, like, 10. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, wait, that's a teaser trail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to look. There's, like, a good chunk of shorts. I can't find the exact amount, but there's at least, let's just say there's 10 or more. Like, there's 10 or more shorts for just the Cars franchise shorts. And I think almost all of them are literally about Mater. If I'm being honest. Not even all of them are about McQueen. Like, literally, most of them are Mater. Like, the best one I can think of that I actually used to watch a lot was the fucking Ghostlight one. You think that was just a one-off joke in the first movie? No, they made a whole ass fucking short about the Ghostlight.
Yeah, I know. I was with the DVD.
I still find that funny. But anyway. I feel like I feel like
VHS, because the Cars was one of the last movies to ever appear on VHS.
Which I also thought was crazy. I think I actually had the DVD for it. I didn't even have the VHS. But I feel like the second movie's excuse for existing, in a sense, is literally just to expand the Cars universe, which you can do, but you shouldn't have to do it as a spy movie. They should have just, like, made it, like, a whole separate thing. I think they saw the success of, like, Despicable Me, and they were like, oh, let's make a spy movie with the Cars. Or something like that. Like, I mean, it's just kind of out of pocket and out of nowhere.
No, it's because fucking John Lasseter ran out of ideas and wanted to do more merchandise for Cars.
How do you run out of ideas? But the third movie's even better. How do you run out of ideas?
Because he didn't direct it.
Oh, that explains a lot. Okay, that explains a lot more than I thought it was going to explain. But, literally half of the racing in the movie is barely even, I think it basically takes up half. It takes up half the movie. The other half, and most of the, like, I think if I had to calculate it, it's like 75% spy shit, and like almost 50% of actual racing shit. Also, the Italian car, I'm not trying to be a butt, but he was annoying. I did not like the Italian car. The only Cars 2 cast member I actually liked out of the new characters was Holly, and that was it. All the other people were fucking stupid. Do you agree about the second movie? Because I feel like it was just a cop-out. I feel like they just did that one as a cash grab.
That's the harshest criticism I can give to it.
Yeah. Honestly, I will agree with you on the second one. I did not like the second one that much. Granted, it's better than what I remembered as a kid, but not by much. I still think the first one is the best. This one is basically the lowest of the three movies. I don't know why. Normally, it's kind of like the first one's the best and then the other two suck, but the first one's the best. The second one sucks, but the third one's actually better, in my opinion. But the second movie, it was just not it. Like, they also did the excuse of basically the two friends getting into an argument and basically dragging it for the whole movie. And I'm tired of people doing that as like a trope. I understand.
Oh, you're tired of people not communicating with each other. Sounds like life. No, I mean, like, just in life, what annoys the shit out of just most people in general.
Well, because, like, I feel like they just do that as a cop-out sometimes in some movies. Like, some movies make it relevant to the plot, and some are actually, like, a good thing to make the plot go by. But that doesn't need to be for every fucking movie, though. Like, it's gotten to the point where I'm, like, tired of that. Like, what happened to characters that actually communicate with each other, or at least over-communicate a little bit? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's just that's how the script is. They're like, we need the script to have conflict, so that's the easiest way to do it.
And I feel like they could have done a whole lot better, but that's just me. Also, I will say this, though. The last, like, 10 to 15 minutes is honestly the best part about this whole ass movie. That was literally it. The whole ending was, like, the best part, and that's, like, the sad part for me to say.
Yeah, it ended. That was the best part for me.
It ended. That's the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
it ended.
Fucking ended, because I was, like, bored out of my mind watching
You're always bored out of your mind when I pick some movies.
No, that's not how it works, okay?
Half of them, at least. I don't know. I think it depends.
I think because you pick a lot of them that are like, oh, they're from my childhood. They must still be good. I'm like,
well, sometimes they are. Okay. Sometimes they are. Like, come on. Some of them are.
I can look through my thing and say, like, hey, not all of this worked.
I get it.
At all.
I get it. But anyway, honestly, the Cars movies, the second one kind of sucks. It's like, in my opinion, it's the worst of the three. And for that, I give it a 4 out of 10.
I give it a 2 out of 10.
Like, honestly, if I had to really say something, you could have just literally skipped the second movie. I feel like it's skippable if you think about it. In my opinion, they should have just took the second movie and just made it into shorts. Or like, at the most, a mini-series. This could have worked as a mini-series. Like, think about it. They could have divided this into, like, 4 parts or something, and they could have, like, aired it on TV or something like that. It would have been, like, This would have been better also as a TV movie.
Mara, you forget that we didn't live in the day of streaming, so literally everything went to the theater.
I get it. But still. There's TV movies, honey.
Yeah, there's TV movies, but do you think a fucking powerful company like Pixar would have done that at the time? No. In fact, this was their first, like, heretical bomb. So, no, of course they wouldn't do that.
Duh, it's because they had Mater be the main character. They should have kept him in the shorts. Like, I don't mind them giving Mater a serious, like, arc, but I feel like they could have done it a bit differently. I feel like we could have had a better version of Mater if they had just not made him an idiot. At least a little bit. Like, at least in the first movie, he had charm to him. But the second movie kind of sucked. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 10, you give it a 2. But let's actually talk about the third movie now. Do you have anything else to say about that, the second one, before we talk about the third?
It should have never existed.
Oh, again with this.
It should have never fucking happened, and the only reason it did is because
the second one bombed so much.
Hero Lassiter wanted a fucking another yacht.
He wanted another chance to kind of redeem himself, I guess. So
he ain't definitely doing that now.
I get it. Anyway, so now we're going to talk about the third one, because we never actually saw the third movie. Like, you never saw it, and I never saw it.
Why the fuck would I go see it? Everybody was so fucking funny when people were like, Lightning died? And I'm like, fuck, he ain't gonna fucking die. Calm your fucking horses.
Why do
you guys suddenly care about this fucking franchise now when you didn't?
I think it's because no one was expecting that. So, basically, we'll talk about the third movie now. So, since you probably don't want to give a summary at this point, I'll just give the summary for the third. So, basically, Jay doesn't care about the Cars movies.
I don't.
Well,
that's like I do. But
I know, but I'm trying to be funny. Anyway, so the third movie is basically about... Okay, first thing I need to point out about the third movie. So, everyone keeps saying Lightning is old. That's the first thing that fucking happens. So basically, everyone keeps complaining that, like, Lightning McQueen is reaching the end of his time because they're coming up with more aerodynamic cars to do racing. And he's basically trying to prove everybody wrong that, oh, he still got it. Oh, he got this. It's basically him trying to prove to everybody that, hey, I still got this shit. I want to fucking race again. So, basically he gets paired up with a trainer named Cruz. And it's basically the two of them getting into hijinks. And basically trying to prove that, hey, he's got this. And trying to also get Cruz to achieve her dream as well. Because she kind of got the short end of the stick, if you think about it. But yeah, what did you think of the third one? Besides the fact that you did not like the second movie. Can we talk about the third this time? Like, what do you actually think of the third one? Because I got a lot to say about the third one.
It was the most tolerable out of the three.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I did not like the first one, and I will take that. I will take that to my grave. That the first one was never good. At all.
Okay.
This one is a better, not only a better movie, but a better version of what that first one is.
Yeah. I feel like this is basically like... This is the movie that kind of takes Lightning full circle. So we got him in his rookie era. Then we basically got him in his actual career, in a sense. And the third movie is basically getting toward the end of his career and basically him at the end of his era. So that's basically the full circle in a sense. And I'll talk about the last half of the circle near the end. So basically Lightning is... Everyone keeps telling Lightning to retire and shit like that. And I can understand that because this is kind of how I feel like this works, in my opinion. Since this is kind of how it makes me feel better about the Cars universe. So I feel like Lightning is like in his like early 20s or something in the first movie. If we had to give him an age, he's like in his early 20s. Like in his prime. Like fresh out of like college in his prime. And then you got the second movie where he's like in his 30s to early 40s. And then basically the last movie is like in his 50s, about to be 60. in a sense, but not like old, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he's getting up there in years. He's like in his almost golden years. That's kind of how I see his age in a sense. Because in this movie, everyone keeps saying, oh, he's losing it. He's losing his gut and stuff like that. That's kind of how I picture, I guess, his age in a sense throughout the course of it. And stuff like that. So, after basically going into a wreck at one of the last races of the season, he basically is sulking about it and then decides, oh, I'm going to try and race one last time to prove to myself and to everybody else that I still got this. So, basically that's what this is. And because of the way Doc Hudson ended up being at like the end of the first movie, or like around like the end of the first movie, basically Lightning is trying to redeem himself because he didn't want to end up like how Doc ended up basically stopping racing and stuff like that. So basically Lightning's trying to prove that it can be on his terms and not everyone else's. And something I did forget to mention about the second movie, Doc's not even fucking in the second movie. Like, period. He's not even fucking in it. They basically acted like he fucking died.
He did die.
Well, I know that, but, like, they didn't give, like, an explanation to what happened to him. Like, I understand his voice actor died, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I understand that, but I feel like they could have done something besides just...
Get a new voice actor.
No. I was gonna say, they should have explained why he wasn't there.
He died.
Besides the fact that he died.
I don't know.
Like, I feel like they could have done something with that.
That's the only thing that you can do. Either you die because they can't fix you anymore, or you die because you crashed into a wall. I don't know.
Anyway, you get my drift. Ha, drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift. Anyway, so... one thing I will say about this third movie, you actually get to hear more about Doc Hudson's past, which that was something that was missing a lot of in the first movie. Like, we get to see, like, a glimpse of his past, but we didn't get to see how he got to where he was. This movie actually does that, and I'm actually happy about that. That's the first thing I'm going to mention I liked about this movie. We get more backstory with Doc and how he got to where he was, and we actually got to see how the fuck the accident happened, because in the first movie, you just see a picture. This, you actually get to see the event, because Lightning's basically watching it, and shit like that. And also, the reanimated part of the Cars movie, where like Doc's talking to Lightning, that was like peak animation right there. Like, that was beautiful. The third movie has like the best animation of the three Cars movies.
Okay, better.
And it's also because it came out like 2017. Right?
Yes.
So the first one came out 2006. Second one came out 2011. This one came out in 2017. So it's a lot better in animation. And I liked all the backgrounds in this one, honestly. Like, it looked so lifelike. Minus the cars basically driving everywhere. Like, but the backgrounds itself, honestly, one of the best things animation-wise about this movie. So basically... I basically talked about what the gist of what Lightning's going through. And you get to see more of Doc's, like, past in this one, which I think is great. Another thing I will say. I love Cruz. She was honestly one of my favorite parts about this third movie. I loved Cruz. What did you think of Cruz?
She was okay. I didn't really... I think that this is a much better version of the first movie.
Honestly, yeah.
But it's not something that I'm going to remember.
I know, but...
It's not something that I care about. It's not something... Especially the third movie, and I should be able to care about something, but I just don't. Because they're fucking talking cars.
You are so upset about talking cars.
Talking cars?
Like, I like how you say that. Talking cars?
I don't care. I really don't. And, like, I still don't believe that he, like, fucking changed for the better or whatever the fuck. Especially since the second movie didn't give me no fucking context whatsoever.
Okay, I will say this, though. Second movie, he's a little bit better when it comes to shit, but not by much. But definitely in the third movie, I can see the character progression with Lightning. He definitely gets a lot better in the third movie, in my opinion. When I was first hearing about this movie coming out, I just saw, like, the poster where he crashed, and I wanted to go see this movie so fucking bad. Like, this movie looked so fucking funny and interesting. Are you good, honey?
Yeah, just doing some yoga.
You're doing yoga in your fucking chair. You're basically sitting the other way.
Yes, I am.
You're being a big booty.
Stop it.
No. No, I'm not gonna stop being a big booty. No.
Good, it fits you.
Hey! Anyway, I loved Cruz. She was honestly one of my favorite characters in this third movie. I absolutely loved her. Also, I will say this, though. This part I could not stop laughing about. The fact when Cruz was starting to drive and the beach base, she basically dug a hole with her wheels to where you could only see her eyes. That part was so funny. She basically is like trying to drive and she's like, the beach ate me. I could not stop laughing at that. That was so funny.
Cars movies are not funny at all.
That was so funny, though. I loved that part. That's like my favorite part for Cruz, honestly. It was so cute.
But these Cars movies aren't funny.
But that was funny, though.
The jokes that they attempt to make are not funny.
Some of them are kind of funny. It depends on your humor. No. Some of them were funny.
They're not funny. They're universally not funny.
Jay, shush. Sheesh. Anyway, so I also like the relationship between Lightning and Cruz. I thought they were great. Like, I liked the little mentor-student kind of relationship that they had. Even though it's not really apparent, like, in it at first. But after, like, you get the feeling of them interacting with each other and learning about why Cruz is trying to help Lightning and basically trying to be a trainer is because she couldn't really be a racer. And I thought that was really sad because, like, I liked that we actually get to see how she progressed in the story as well. And I thought that was great. I thought her arc in the story was great, and us getting to find out about her. Also, the demolition derby scene, I can't believe they name a fucking truck Fritter! They named a truck Fritter, and I thought that was funny. That was hilarious.
You are geeking out about this movie way more than you should.
I know. But it was still funny. Can we both at least agree?
No, it's not funny.
A little bit.
It's not
funny.
A
little
it's
bit.
Not funny.
You just are saying
no,
that.
I'm not. I'm dead serious. I did not laugh.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't laugh. I didn't have a genuine fucking laugh through any of these movies. I was just like sitting there, and at worst I was bored, and at best it was like, huh, okay.
Wow.
Like, that's it. If this whole series was like the Karate Kid and was this whole like mentor shit going on without any side plots, I would probably like this a little bit better. A little, but
yeah.
No, it's not. So
I will say this though, I did like the whole mentor-student relationship that they had with like Lightning and Cruz. I thought that was great. And I also like that we get to see a lot of development from Lightning, that essentially he becomes her teacher, but is still basically racing with her, which I think is great. You know what I mean? Like, they're both racing with each other and stuff like that. Another thing I will say about this movie, can we please at least say that Cruz basically killed it in the end of this movie? I loved the ending of this movie. Cruz developed so much as a character, and I'm so proud of her in this movie. Like, she went from, like, not knowing how to fucking drive outside of a fucking stadium to literally driving, like, in the fucking dirt and shit. So, yeah. I don't really have much else to say about the third one. Do you have anything else to say?
it was the best one. It was the best one. And some of the shots looked really nice. And I liked the attempt at trying to pull some emotion. It didn't do it for me because I'm a heartless bastard. But I guess if you watched it, it would maybe, I don't know, maybe it would say something. I have no idea. Yeah, that's basically it. I can't really give it much credit.
Okay.
Especially since it doesn't translate well from the other movies.
Yeah. But, I personally give I was about to say fifth movie. I'm like, where did the fucking fifth movie come out of that? I personally give the third movie I would give it like a 8.5 out of 10. I think it's honestly the best one of the three. What do you give the third one out of 10?
I get a 5.
You give it a 5?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. It's probably the highest you actually give it out of the 3 ones we rated.
Yes, but in general, I don't care. If I could rate it, all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah, what's your opinion on all 3? Like the franchise as a whole. Like the first, the trilogy. Because I will mention something before we grade. There's supposedly there's rumors about...
Altogether, I'm going to give it a 3.
You give the whole thing a 3?
Yes.
Okay. Before I get my rating, supposedly there was...
You know, those things are just like, oh, there might be one, but it's not confirmed by any other sources. Besides
if they ever do a fourth one, we will watch it.
No, I'm not watching that shit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not qualified to. I'm not obligated to finish a fucking anything in this world.
We'll see about that.
I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated. You can't
shush.
make me.
You shush. Anyway, I basically give the franchise as a whole, I give it a solid 7. I think it's decent. I think the Cars franchise as a whole is decent because at least it has a coherent, like, arc for Lightning, because he starts as a rookie, he basically is in his in his career, goes slowly to the semi-end of his career, and then basically gets to the end of his era. And the last, like, chunk is basically him, in a sense, being a mentor to Cruz. Because I will say, if they ever do make a fourth movie, I would actually like to see...
They're not. Fucking, he's getting old.
I'm just saying...
John Lasseter ain't even in the company anymore. Can I say something, There is no reason to make these movies
if they do make a fourth, if they somehow decide, hey, let's make a fourth movie, I do hope we get to see a movie where basically Lightning is teaching more to Cruz. I think that would be kind of nice.
Damn cartoon shorts. That's your sequels.
Oh my goodness.
That's your sequel.
You big booty. But that would be kind of cool. But basically him tutoring, like teaching like Cruz would be an interesting thing. And I like that he basically starts to do it at the end of this movie. I think that'd be a good transitional point for a fourth movie if they ever decide to do it.
No.
If they don't, it does end at a good point, in my opinion. So if we ever get one, that'd be cool. If they ever not get one, I'm more than content with the ending we got.
Damn.
I choked on my spit. I am sorry. But yeah. Damn, I really choked on my spit. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's basically the end of the video. You have anything else to say before we sign off, honey?
No.
Jay basically hates the Cars movies now because they made him watch all 3.
I don't care for them. I do not like them.
I get it. Well, look on the bright side. At least we get to watch some of the different movies soon. So maybe you'll have a better opinion about whatever we watch next.
Probably will.
We'll see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out. Bye, guys.